Oh, I've been good, man. Taking care of the family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might come back. We'll see.
Yeah. You been offered anything?
Let me see. Off anything like what?
Like a fight.
Man, I get offered stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Fights, shoes, stop. I don't know. We'll see.
Charlo, and then I'll have Errol Spence.
So Errol Spence at 154, maybe 12 months from now.
Yeah, if he wants to come to the big boy division, then yeah.
It's time for him to let boxing go. That's my opinion. I don't want to see him get in the ring and at a higher weight, and it's been so long, and the ring rust and the accident, the injuries. I think he should stay on his ranch, enjoy what he has.
Errol Spence Jr. speaks out ahead of his comeback bout against Tim Tszyu, displaying sharp focus, relentless training, and unwavering determination as he prepares to make a powerful return in 2026.
Working, man. I'm working. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't wake me up for him, bro.
Nah, bro. Nah. Hey, going on vacation, not running your run.
Errol Spence Jr. is targeting a return in 2026, shutting down retirement rumors as he gears up for a determined comeback fight.
And so it was for me to help him realize that. That was pretty crazy. For him to come back in the gym and me to be holding mitts and be looking at him, you know, you can't believe it. I think it's like the biggest comeback in professional sports. If you don't believe in yourself, why should I? And he believes in him.
Errol Spence Jr. revealed that following his difficult defeat to Terrence Crawford, many people urged him to walk away from the sport, but he refused to let outside doubt dictate the next chapter of his career.
For me to say, if I come back, I'll be a shell of myself. You know, if he comes back, you know, he's gonna. But he probably not gonna come back. He's damaged. I just, you know, use it all as fuel. Some people can use it all and be not motivated and be like, and let that knock them down. I use it as fuel.
Tim Tszyu admits this matchup has truly awakened him. Unlike any of his previous fights, he says he'll be a completely different animal when he steps in against Errol Spence Jr.
Spence, that makes you feel that, hey, you know what, I think I can take this guy.
It's a fight that wakes me up, you know? Wakes me up. You know those fights that you'd be like a challenge? Like the Tony Harrison fight for me was like all right, I've got to wake up. This is the fight. And it brings something different in your brain, in your body. You learn more about yourself. You just become a different person, a different animal. And that's another fight that will bring a different animal in.
Paulie Malignaggi believes Tim Tszyu also needs a comeback of his own, describing this clash as a highly sellable and marketable fight that perfectly aligns with both fighters' storylines.
Errol hasn't been busy. He's sort of needs a comeback fight himself. Tim needs a little bit of a comeback himself. He just had a small win over Velasquez. He's going to keep trying to work his way back in. So you look at the fight on paper and you think, this is a sellable, marketable fight. And, you know, between two guys who need to work their way back in. And, you know, the winner is two big names, so the winner obviously creates a real drawing power to himself again and works their way probably.
Andre Rozier believes Errol Spence Jr. should not make a return, pointing to his injuries, past accidents, and the overall toll on his career. In his view, the risk outweighs the reward despite Spence's recovery.
Posted on like social media, he looks like he's in like terrific shape. Looks like he took those last 2.5 years to really just get it, like his body right, maybe his mind right, whatever. Do you think we can see another run from Spence at 54?
Honestly, this is only my opinion, nephew. You know how I am. I don't want to see Spence back in the ring. I think he went through so much with everything, the accidents and everything. It's time for him to let boxing go. That's my opinion. I don't want to see him get in the ring and at a higher weight, and it's been so long, and the ring rust and the accident, the injuries. I think he should stay on his ranch, enjoy what he has gotten, be a cowboy cattleman. And
I don't want to see Errol Spence Jr. back in the ring. I think he's been through too much with the accidents, the injuries, and everything that comes with this sport. It might be time for him to walk away from boxing Andre Rozier said, "I don't want to see him return at a higher weight after such a long layoff. Dealing with ring rust and the damage he's already endured. He should stay on his ranch, enjoy what he's earned, live as a cattleman, and call it a career." Rozier emphasized that the former champion deserves peace outside the spotlight rather than chasing another run at 154 pounds. He worries about ring rust, the risks of moving up in weight, and the possibility of further harm. At the same time, he understands how hard it is to step away. For a fighter of Spence's stature, the urge to prove there's still something left in the tank is undeniable. Still, Rozier's message remains firm. If Spence fights again, it should be one final farewell bout, not a full-scale comeback.
I mean, I assume it's got to be difficult for a guy of his stature and, you know, going out the way he did. I'm pretty sure he wants to get that get back and kind of show at least, you know, I do have a little bit left in the tank.
Well, it could be, but I'm just saying from the perspective of an individual, an athlete that has gone through so many trials and tribulations, I think at this point in time, it's not going to help him. If he wants to get a win and then call it a day, I could co-sign to that. But for him to think he's going to relaunch his career, especially at 54, I think that's not a...
Kell Brook shared his honest take on the upcoming showdown between Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu, calling it an exciting and unpredictable matchup. Brook pointed out that both men bring contrasting strengths, making the contest highly competitive. He believes Spence still possesses the skill, ring IQ, and experience to compete at a high level despite his extended layoff. At the same time, Tszyu's relentless pressure and hunger could pose serious problems. According to Brook, their styles mesh perfectly, setting the stage for action-packed rounds that will keep fans fully engaged. In his view, it's a fight truly worth watching.
Last one before I let you go, a man that you have obviously fought, there was reports last night that apparently he'll be returning in the summer, Errol Spence Jr versus Tim Tszyu. I mean, what do you make of that return? Obviously 3 years at the ring for himself. Just what do you make of his return?
You know, I'm excited as well. You know, I wish that I would have fought, you know, him back in the day, you know, but, you know, it's exciting. I met Tim Tszyu when I was in Australia, and it'll be interesting to see them two meet and lock on. So, you know, I'll be watching that, and I'll be excited to see, you know, the winners. You know, you never know. You know.
Ali Malone offered a balanced and cautious perspective on a potential clash between Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence Jr. He noted that Tszyu is a PBC fighter in the U.S., and many of these matchups occur within the same promotional circle, making the fight a sensible business decision at this point in their careers. However, Malone admitted there are still many unknowns. Spence has been inactive for a long time, and it almost feels like he hasn't stepped in the ring for years. Because of that, no one truly knows what he still has left, both mentally and physically.
Makes 4, right? You use your common sense. That Tim is a PBC guy in the States. These guys are PBC guys. You look for the correct possible matchup at this stage in their careers. You know, it starts to make sense, you know? So, you know,
How do you see it?
How do I see it? I don't know. I mean, Spence hasn't fought in decades, feels like, you know, even Charlo. So I don't know. How do you know what's left out of those guys mentally, physically? You don't know, you know? Obviously with Tim, there's a lot of question marks. He's just come back with a win, but at least Tim is trying to stay busy and active. With those guys, it's hard to say. You haven't seen them. You don't know how their training's going, if their training is even going, and how they are mentally and physically at this point in their life and their careers.
Tim's team copped a lot of criticism, his old team, should I say, about walking him into people like Fundora on short notice, or Murtazalayev unknown, or taking a rehydration clause on the IBF.
Paulie Malignaggi also highlighted that Tim Tszyu carries his own question marks, though he has remained active and recently notched a victory. He added that periods of inactivity make it difficult to accurately assess a fighter's condition, training, and mindset. Malignaggi referenced past criticism of Tsyu's former team for taking risky decisions. Ultimately, he noted that matching him directly against Errol Spence Jr. brings uncertainty, as neither fighter is entirely predictable at this moment.
Speak about him sitting on, but is it not just rewriting the books again?
With Spence, you don't know what's left. You know, he's not looked very good, so it might be one of those cases where you're catching him at the right time. But then again, Spence may feel that about Tszyu as well, right?
Yeah.
You might catch him at the right time. It's one of those things where the matchup makes sense because both guys might be catching one another at the right time. But you're gonna get a winner out of the fight, and the winner can, you know, move on to possibly a title fight. You know, as far as the criticism for Tim and his team, there's gonna be a lot of opinions. But the person that has skated the most criticism, that deserves the most criticism, is the
Analysts have observed that Errol Spence Jr. seems to be back in the gym, quietly preparing for a serious comeback. Rather than waiting for official announcements, the footage tells the story. A brief clip shared by Iran, Junkyard Dog Peterson in Philadelphia, shows Spence relaxed yet focused inside the gym. The two converse casually as the camera rolls. Spence has one glove wrapped and appears lean, sharp, and well-conditioned. His arms show definition with a light sheen of sweat, suggesting he's just completed a workout. The moment feels genuine, reassuring fans that training has started and consistency is steadily building.
It looks like he is back training, which I will get into in a second. You know what? I'll just show you right now. Why wait? I mean, why should we wait? So, right off rip, this is a video from Iran, the Junkyard Dog Peterson. He is a fighter out of Philly. Terrible jump. Beautiful jump, right? If some people are like, what do you mean, beautiful John? What is it? Like, some of you guys, you don't know what I'm talking about. You got to be on Instagram. That's where I've seen it, right? You got to know. If you know, you know. And he looking in shape. So we'll play the video. It's not much to it, and I can't play the music for copyright reasons. But you see them conversating, and when you look at Errol Spence, pause, you can see he got like a little bit of sheen, like sweat, like he did some form of a workout. And the caption read like, "Till next time, my ninja," from Iran. So many people believe that the two sparred. That's just what it is. Now, if you know boxing, or if you don't know, I'll tell you, Ron has sparred with...
Errol Spence Jr. has been seen in Philadelphia, honing his skills and gearing up for a potential clash with Tim Tszyu. Footage captures Spence relaxed, yet intensely focused, moving with the confidence of a fighter steadily rebuilding after setbacks. Observers point out his lean physique, defined arms, and the sweat that clearly signals the hard work is already in motion.
You was this, Earl. You can listen to me or not. I remember we had a chance to buy up the metropolis, the Dallas metropolis, when you was on top of the world. You said, call me. I called you. Nothing happened. But that's besides the point. I know you got a lot of money. I know you got your farm, your, what they call it? Probably got a zoo by now, right? But here's the reality of this thing. If you fight Tim Tszyu for $2 to $3 million, listen to what I'm saying. This is what Vegas is telling me. If you fight Tim Tszyu and have to go to Australia, you've destroyed your brand. Literally destroyed your brand. Why did you destroy your brand? Because they need to come to Dallas to fight you so you get all the money. Do you understand? You got to rebuild yourself. You don't go chasing dollars when you can spend the next 3 or 4 years building your...
Behind the scenes, conversations continue about the business side of this potential matchup. Some analysts caution that traveling to Australia for a $2 to $3 million purse could hurt Errol Spence Jr.'s brand, suggesting that venues like Dallas or Las Vegas would better maximize revenue and help rebuild momentum. The advice is straightforward. Fight at home first, then expand strategically. Still, the training footage speaks louder than speculation. Spence appears committed, disciplined, and determined to show he still has plenty to offer. Whether in Dallas, Vegas, or overseas, his comeback journey is officially underway.
It can be Keith Thurman. The third fight can be Fondora. The third fight can be whoever you want it to be. But you will not have any market value going to Australia and getting a guaranteed purse. You need to bet on yourself. Fight somebody who's 27-3, never been knocked out, 14 knockouts, and has been in the ring with a champion. That's what you need to do at 154. But what do I know? I'm crazy, I'm delusional, and yet I'm the one who's right. I end up being right every.
The third fight could be against Keith Thurman. It could be against Jaron Fonderenes. Really, the third fight can be whoever you want it to be. But heading to Australia for a guaranteed purse won't build any market value. You need to bet on yourself. Face someone who's 27-3, never been knocked out with 14 KOs, and has already shared the ring with a champion. That's the kind of fight you need at 154 pounds. But hey, what do I know? I'm crazy, I'm delusional, and yet somehow I'm the one who's right. I end up being right every time.
I should just stay out of boxing. My concern is definitely not Tim Tszyu, in my humble opinion. I know if he comes back to the ring, he's going to wash him. But what it is he going to continue right after that fight? Is he going to proceed facing elite fighters at 154? Fundora, who is a 154-pound champion. Boots Ennis. Virgil Ortiz, does he still have that championship mentality? Mind you guys, he's coming off of a 3-year layoff, especially coming off of a devastating loss with Crawford. And to add salt to the wound, the whole car accident thing, which a lot of people want to use as an excuse for the Crawford fight. I also agree.
This isn't an easy fight, especially for someone returning after nearly 3 years of inactivity. Errol Spence Jr. hasn't competed since his last bout against Terrence Crawford, where he suffered a one-sided defeat that left serious questions about his form and condition. Long layoffs often impact timing, sharpness, and confidence inside the ring. Jumping straight back and against a tough, hungry opponent like Tim Tszyu is a bold move. Rather than easing in with a tune-up, Spence seems ready to face a serious challenge immediately, an approach that reflects both courage and strong belief in his own abilities.
Rumblings of a Fundora, when I think fighters get to a point where they want this, but they haven't been performing there. And I think that might be the case with Errol Spence Jr. Certainly was the case in my opinion, with Keith Thurman and also with Danny Garcia. I feel, even though they did battle injuries, I felt another big part of that was they wanted big pay against lower opponent. They didn't want to come back and get big pay against a big opponent. It's a part of the game, and I got a feeling that that's what Errol's looking at right now. I think Errol's looking at how can I, get the money that I'm used to getting, and for the sake of words, he's got to get his feet wet again. He's got to see how he feels, and
Sean Porter recently shared his thoughts on Errol Spence Jr.'s potential comeback, pointing out that many fighters reach a stage where they chase big fights and paydays without performing at that level. Porter compared Spence's situation to Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, who both dealt with injuries, yet pursued high-profile bouts without first proving themselves against top competition. He believes Spence may be seeking the same, an opportunity to secure the pay he's accustomed to while testing how he feels on fight night.
There's a lot of things lingering right now with Errol. I'm not sure if he makes a comeback. This, unfortunately, is the one thing that I do know. Most fighters walk away until they have to come back, and usually it's the finance situation that brings them back. Certainly hope that doesn't end up being the case with Errol. If I had to bet on it right now, I would bet that Errol makes a comeback. I would bet that Errol makes a comeback because what we saw from him in his last match against Terrence Crawford, that was just how that fight went. But at the end of the day, and we can tell by how he kept getting up, that ain't who he is. And he ain't going out like that. So that being said, I guess I said a whole lot. Yeah, Errol comes back. If Errol don't come back, then that, to me, that means he's good with where he's at. And like I always say,
Porter highlighted lingering questions about Errol Spence Jr., including the absence of a coach and uncertainty over his readiness. Still, he acknowledged that financial incentives often pull fighters back into the ring. Despite these concerns, Porter said he would bet on Spence making a successful return, noting that the way Spence kept rising against Terrence Crawford demonstrated remarkable resilience. He's not going out like that, Porter concluded.
A terrible loss, bad loss, physical damage. to Terrence Bud Crawford, the biggest fight of his career for undisputed. So he got dropped 3 times in a fight for the first time in his career. Being on the canvas, he got dropped 3 times. Then the first loss of his career. Then he don't have the only trainer he knew in his entire career. On top of that, he suffered that horrific car accident. He had the multiple eye surgeries, right? Just a lot of physical damage and unknown with Errol Spence. And now Errol Spence has brought in a legend, an icon, Hall of Famer in Roy Jones Jr., who can be considered in the eyes of many as the greatest fighter in boxing. As a trainer, Roy Jones is saying he's in Dallas today. See how Errol Spence responds, see what he has left in the tank, see what his abilities can be, and what has he lost and what has he not lost, right? So there's a lot they're gauging today to see, if it's a good fit that they work together, right? Now, Roy Jones is a fighter who fought in a style and a manner in which just can't be taught. It can't be taught, right? And Roy Jones as a trainer, no slight of disrespect, has not been very successful at the highest level as a trainer, right? We just have...
Errol Spence Jr. is coming off a devastating loss to Terrence Crawford in the biggest fight of his career for the undisputed championship. For the first time, he was dropped 3 times, forced to taste the canvas repeatedly, and suffered the first defeat of his career, shaking both his confidence and momentum. On top of that, he no longer has the only trainer he's ever known. Then came a horrific car accident and multiple eye surgeries, adding further physical strain. The wear and tear surrounding Spence is significant. Now he has brought in a legend, Roy Jones Jr., to work closely with him in Dallas, evaluating what remains in the tank. While Jones brings deep boxing knowledge and mentorship, his unique style is notoriously difficult to teach, making this partnership both uncertain and intriguing.